This is an open letter to my pink skin friends regarding AUKUS. That is the treaty between, that is, a new treaty, a surprise treaty of that covers regarding the military cooperation between Uncle Sam's managers, the British and the Australians. It was a surprise that came out. Suddenly everybody was told that yes, we are cooperating, these three countries, we are cooperating, and that's it. And the only country that they seems to apologize to, or the only country that came in the news that was worthy of apology was the French. It's sort of like somehow the French were the ones who everybody has to apologize to for leaving them out in the cold. I was a surprise, and I'm sure eventually the French will be included in that organization and will become sort of like instead of it's equivalent to NATO North Atlantic Treaty, it would be a SATO South Atlantic Treaty, or South Pacific Treaty. They will include the French eventually into that organization as well, but. Because here's the thing, how I know they're eventually going to include the French in it, because forgive me, my pink skin friends, but I don't mean to sound racist, but the reality is everything that your managers, your governments do, if everything they do is racist, one who brings it out and describes it cannot be described as a racist. I am not a racist. I just recognize that certain countries are behaving in a very racist manner. I'm just recognizing that Uncle Sam's managers is in cahoots with the Europeans, the ex-colonialists, just based on their race, because they feel, they have this affinity based on the race, and that's the only affinity. And that doesn't make me racist. I love you, pink skins, but describing you and describing how this this cooperation is taking place, has been taking place between all these pink skin dominated countries. If I can describe it and I see it and I describe it the way it is, that doesn't make me a racist. It just brings out the facts that the pink skin countries are behaving in a racist manner. Why do I say this? Well, why Australia? Why Australia? Why suddenly Uncle Sam's managers and the British decide that Australia is worthy of becoming a really good partner for us, us. When I say us, I mean the pink skin owners of the infrastructure, owners of the system in North America and Europe. Why Australia suddenly is worthy? Let's put it this way. So some of you might say Australia because Australia is a democracy. And we want democratic friends. That's why, it's an ally, because it's a democracy against China, which is not a democracy. Oh, fuck you. Australia, let's imagine this. If Australia had not, implemented a very racist immigration policy in which, based on such policy, most of the brown and the black and the red and the green and are kept away, and the yellow are kept away, and more pink skins are invited in. This is basically Australian immigration policy, North American immigration policy, European immigration policy. Pink skins are welcome. The rest of you motherfuckers stay away. If Australia hadn't implemented this kind of immigration policy for the past 50 years, and therefore, consequently, if the population of Australia was, let's say, because it's closer to Asia, and all those Asian countries, they all have immigrants ready to go, logically, Australia would be, by now, if the past 50 years this racist immigration policy wasn't in place, logically, Australia would be majority yellow skin Asian, South Asian, yellow skin, brown skin South Asian. If it was left alone and things were not racist in Australia. Now, if the population of Australia was Asian, a bunch of yellow skin and a brown skin, do you think and still was democratic? Let's assume it was still democratic. Do you think AUKUS would have been, possible? Would Uncle Sam's managers decide that yes, we are willing to share, information regarding nuclear submarine with this amalgamation of brown and the black and the yellow skins that are, residing in Australia now? Will we be sharing that, even though supposedly it's democratic? I don't think so. It would not have happened if the pink skin structure of Australia was not present at the moment. That kind of information, nuclear technology information, nuclear submarine technology information would not have been shared with Australia, period. You know how I know? As long as South Africa was pink skin, the managers of South Africa were pink skin, nobody had any issue. None of the Western countries, none of the pink skin countries, Europe, North America, didn't have any problem with South Africa going nuclear. Nuclear technology, nuclear energy, even nuclear weapons. No problem. Things got ugly, things got, became no-no once it was clear that the pink skin infrastructure, the pink skin system, the owners, so-called owners of that system, the pink skin who owned the system in South Africa, it was unsustainable, that system. So once it became clear that it's unsustainable, suddenly, South Africa was prohibited from, having nuclear technology, participating in nuclear technology of any kind, for energy, for weapons, for nothing, zero, zilch. If you want to be black, you can be black, but you can't have nuclear technology. That's racist. So this is why I know if Australia was really a country of immigrants, logically of immigrants of South Asia, because they're closer to Australia, and if the doors were open, the majority of Australians by now would have been South Asians, East Asians, I don't think this AUKUS would have taken place. And this is a clear example that even you, my liberal pink-skinned friends, those of you who think that, no, our foreign policy is not racist. No, and only a few minority, in domestic, a few people domestically are racist, and that's it. I want to tell you that, no, your foreign policy, the mainstream foreign policy of European countries and North American countries the mainstream foreign policy is racist. The mainstream foreign policy. And you know that is because, I mean, why not Congo? Why doesn't, Uncle Sam form a, become an ally with the Congo or Madagascar or, ally? I mean, share nuclear technology with, with Zimbabwe. Share nuclear technology with, I don't know, Philippines. The reality is that no, it's sort of like it's recognized that it's understood that only pinkskins system that are owned and run by other pinkskins can become allies. If there is a there is a relationship with other races, countries that are run by other races, the most they can become is assets. So in other words, Japan is not an ally of Uncle Sam or the Europeans. Japan is an asset. And Saudi Arabia is not an ally. Saudi Arabia is an asset. So the point, so nuclear technology with regards to submarines is not going to be shared with the Japanese or the Saudis. At the most, Saudis may get a couple of bases that with nuclear weapons that they are not in possession of it either. That is run by NATO. Sort of like, we put some nuclear weapons there, but you don't own it, you can't touch it. We protect you, like you protect your asset. So the point is this, that the whole system is based on race. Now, why do I say this? I've noticed many Iranians, some Iranians, some Middle Easterns in general, some Middle Easterns who seek refuge in the West, they once they reach the West or before going to the West in the Middle Eastern countries, wherever they are, they convert from whatever religion they were, which is usually Islam, they convert to Christianity, and then they move to the West, or they go to the West, North America or Western Europe, and then they convert to Christianity, somehow thinking that if they do convert to Christianity, they have a better chance of being accepted as refugees. They have a better chance of getting sympathy, getting empathy from the locals, local system, local government, local people, whatever. And it's funny because they don't understand that for the pinkskins, it's not the religion that is important to the majority of the pinkskins. It's the race. It's not the religion. So in reality, here is here's the mistake that the Middle Easterns make with regards to changing the religion, thinking they're going to get accepted better as refugees if they do so, as asylum seekers if they do so. Here's the mistake they make. They notice that the Europeans, during their colonial past, not present, during the previous colonial wars and conquerings that they have done, conquests, one of the reasons were given to their own people, Europeans, the people who own the European system, I'm talking about the lords and the barons and the dukes, those people who actually were going to benefit from colonial conquests. Those guys used to feed a specific lie to their own people in order to convince them, to the average Joe pink skin, in order to convince them to let's go and conquer those lands. What they used to tell them wasn't that, let's go and, rob them and, steal from them and blah, blah. No. It was too crude. So in order to convince the masses to be in step with conquest and conquering, other races, they used to tell them, we have to go and to spread Christianity. In order to spread Christianity, we have to go and conquer them and bring them Christianity, because the most important thing is Christianity. Therefore, this way the average Joe was convinced that yes, we have to go bring them the word of God. So they went into East Asia, to South Asia, India and China and South America, North America, to bring the word of God to them. This is how the average Joe understood it. But the reality was the barons and the dukes and the lords and the sirs and the royals had, the whole purpose for them. The reality was that we need to go conquer these motherfuckers for the gold and the diamond and the land and the wealth and the slaves and whatever, more wealth, more power, more wealth, more power. This was the old colonialism. The new colonialism has started with, instead of, telling the average Joe that we are going to, we need to go conquer them to bring them Lord Jesus, the new colonialism says we have to go conquer them to bring them democracy. The only change has been from, we need to take our religion to them, has changed to the narrative, has changed from we need to bring our religion to them. This narrative has changed to we need to bring our form of government to them. And this self-serving, self-centric form of mentality that we, at any given time, we have the best religion, we have the best government, and convincing the average fucking Joe that we need to take this religion at that point, and at this point we need to take this form of government to them because this is the best form of government. And while at the same time we all know that the real reason for all these conquests is money and wealth and power and more influence, and wealth and power and more influence. So and the funny thing about that, those Middle Easterns converting to Christianity, trying to, earn some sympathy in the Northern Europe and in Europe and North America by converting to Christianity, is that they're following the old book. They're thinking that, these guys wanted to conquer us, because they thought they bring us Christianity. Okay, what if we go to their land seeking refuge, and what if we, become Christians? They should be really happy with that, and they should accept us. Not realizing that they don't accept you because you're Christian. They don't care if you're Christian. They don't give a fuck whether you're Muslim or Christian. They want to come to you for your money. They don't want you to go over there to their land. Whether you're Christian or Muslim, they don't give a fuck. They weren't, in reality, they didn't care to bring you Christianity. That was just the ruse. That was just a sham. That was just the surface, the facade. The reality is they wanted to come to your land to conquer you for the wealth and whatever they could find, the gold and the silver and the whatever else they could find. bringing you the religion was just a facade. That's to convince their own population to be in step, to be on board with all these conquests, all this bloodshed. So the Middle Easterns, the stupid people, they're like, okay, now they don't know this. They're like, okay, what if we go over there and we tell them that now we are Christians, and now they certainly have to shelter us because now we are Christians. They were trying to bring us the religion. Yes, now we accept the religion, but now you have to accept us living in your land, which the Westerners, the pink skins, do not want. They don't give a fuck what religion you are. You have to go back home to your own brown skin land, which now is depleted of all your precious, whatever precious things you had. Now it's depleted because now all those precious material is in pink skin land. My point is this. AUKUS is not because Australia is a democracy and we only ally with democracies. No. If Australia was not pink skin dominated, it wouldn't have happened. The reason it happens is because it's pink skin dominated. For the same reason you don't find, these technologies being shared with black skin countries and the brown countries and the red countries and the yellow countries. They just don't want to do that. The pink skin countries are extremely racist. The pink skin systems are extremely racist. If they do share technologies, they only share technologies where they know their own race is dominant. And this whole idea of let's go spread democracy, let's go spread Christianity, and let's go spread democracy, and these are all facades for conquest. These are all facade, fake shell. For the real reason for the conquest of other people's land, other races' land. And the real reason is because more land, more markets, more power, more raw resources, more wealth, more power, more power. Not for everybody in the pink skin land. Still, average Joe is dying on the street, homeless, helpless. But there are, the few who own the whole shaboom, who own the societies of pink skin societies, they want more wealth and more power. So they convince everybody else that we should go and, we should go and, conquer them, because at that time there was a necessity to spread Christianity because our religion is the best one. And at this point in time, there is a necessity that we should go spread democracy because our system of government is the best kind. It's just a game. It's just a silly joke. That silly facade that these people put on, and it's all race based. So I'm not a racist, but what I see is all these alliances, all these, we are against them, we are the good guys and they are the bad guys. The good guys happen to be all pink skin. Now, recognizing that the pink skins only recognize other pink skins as the good guys, that's racist. Doing the act is racist. But recognizing me, bringing to mouth, verbalizing the fact that what I see is that the pink skins only recognize other pink skins as the good guys, and the bad guys happen to be one of the other races, the yellow skins and the brown skins and the black skins and the red skins and the green skins, and whoever else is not the pink skin is the bad guy. And the funny thing is, once this is the this is the policy, and it's clear in international level. At international level, it's clear that all the pink skin countries are together, more or less, and they're against, everybody else, the browns and the blacks and the yellows and reds and whatever, everybody else. But then inside these pink skin countries, pink skin dominated countries, they do have other races, but then when their own citizens, their own pink skins within this structure start hating the other races, there is an uproar that no, you shouldn't hate the other races within this structure. They're trying to, prevent hate crime within their domestic arena, domestic systems. Like no, don't hate the black guys, don't hate the brown guys, don't create this mess, don't have domestic violence, don't have, these domestic issues, the domestic warfare, the domestic problems. Well, these people, your average pink skin Joe, is seeing that his leaders are only allies with other pink skins, countries, nations. And he's seeing with his own eyes that on the news, that the enemy is always either a black skin country, the black skin dominated country, or a brown skin dominated country, or a yellow skin dominated country. Well, he sees that and he brings it to, he translates that in his mind that, okay, and rightfully so, what he sees is that pink skin good, other races bad, internationally. So he translates that in his mind that, well, it's the same principle works domestically too. So within my domestic area, within my domestic system, the pink skins start hating the other races that are somehow, barely integrated within the system, because they see it in the news. And then a lot of these soldiers who come back from wars in the brown skin land and the black skin land and the yellow skin land, they come home and they see, a few black and the brown and the yellow, and they start hating them. He was a soldier. He used to, he was killing them yesterday on the field, because they told him that those black skins are the enemy and those brown skins are the enemy and those yellow skins are the enemy. Well, he's seeing the same brown fucking skin in his home, in his neighborhood. So of course he's gonna hate him. But the pink skin dominated structure doesn't know how to deal with this situation. On one hand, internationally, on the news all the time, the action is pink skin good, pink skin alliance, pink skin perfect. And we are against, the yellow skin Chinese and the brown skin Iranians and the black skin, Libyans. But domestically, they keep telling their own population, their own average Joe pink skin, that no, you should live at peace with your brown and the black and the yellow neighbor. So don't mind that our international policy is racist, is determined, our international policy is race-based. Don't mind that. Domestically, treat other races equally because we want peace and quiet in the domestic arena. Well, you can't have that. You can't tell the average Joe that, don't close there is a different, internationally there is different and domestically there is different. No, what he sees you're doing in the international arena, he's replicating in his domestic arena. And I say this because the funny thing is sort of like, I was on NPR that the head of the Marines, General, can't recall his name. He was saying that we want to make our brothers in U.S. Marines, we want to, make it look like America. There is too much pink skin involved. We want to make it look like America. And right now it's not. It's mostly pink skin, and the brown and the black and the yellow, apparently they come, they stay for a short while, then get the fuck out. And he was wondering why, and we have to set up policies to make the Marines, or in general the military forces, look as as diverse as the land itself, the population itself. Well, you can't do that. Just I explained right now, you can't do that. You can't have a foreign policy in which this battalion of Marines is always attacking the brown skin and the black skin and the yellow skin and the black skin and the brown skin and the yellow skin overseas. And each one of these guys that these guys are attacking are first demonized by the media, by the system, and they're ordered to attack because they're bad, and they all happen to be either black, brown, or yellow, a shade other than pink. And we're always, this Marine sees with his own eyes that the allies, NATO and AUKUS and MUKUS and TUKUS and NATO and PATO and FATO, they're all the allies happen to be pink skin dominated societies, and all these allies are always attacking those brown and the black and the yellows, or preparing to attack, or maneuvering to attack, or having drills, scenarios in order practicing to attack these brown and the black and the yellows. And of course he's going to conclude in his soldier mind that we are allies with the pink skins and we are preparing to attack those other races, and so pink skin good, other races bad. So the international policy, the grand scale policy is racist. The grand policy is racist. How do you expect the little guys in the system not to be racist when the grand policy is racist? When the brown and the black and the yellow always end up being the enemy, needing, in the need of good ass kicking, because they're not, doing as they're told. Like the Chinese and the Iranians and the Cubans, and their asses need to be kicked because they're not following orders. Well, Sweden is not following orders, more or less. It's more or less independent. Finland is independent and nobody's kicking their ass. The French are more or less independent. Nobody's kicking their ass. In fact, once they're pushed out of a business deal regarding the submarines, they're apologized to, and eventually they're pulled back into the ally group, becomes back to the allies, because they're a pink skin. That is clear as day. Of course, the soldier, that soldier is going to see what his leaders are doing. That the grand international scheme of things is us, the pink skin, against them, every other races. And when he sees this repeating over and over and over and over again, of course he's going to end up having his own racist agenda, racist tendencies. Of course, in this system, in this battalion of soldiers, of course the brown guy is gonna see, his area of earth where other brown guys are attacked, and he's also, personally he's attacked in his battalion by other his fellow soldiers, just because he happens to be of the same race as those people. You can't, what I'm trying to say is, you cannot demonize the whole region of the world just because you want to go conquer them. You have to demonize them So of course the people from that region of the world who happen to be from that region of the world in your own society, in your own battalion, they're also going to be demonized as far as, you know, other fellow soldiers, other fellow citizens are concerned. You cannot demonize one and not demonize the other if they're all the same, from the same general area of earth. It's ridiculous. The grand policy is racist. Of course, the real little individuals in the system see the grand policy, and, you know, their impression is that, yeah, they adapt their own policy in line with the grand policy that they have experienced all their life. Pink skin good, other motherfuckers are bad, they need to be, you know, enlightened, they should be conquered to bring them Christianity, and then they should be conquered to bring them democracy, and then they should be conquered to... They should be taught a lesson, all of them. And then you don't want, you think you're not going to have, you know, domestic issues when the grand scale of things is this racist. It's naive. It's very naive to think that, you know, you can be, you know, a couple of million Middle Easterns can die through a series of wars for 20, 30 years, 40 years, sanctions and wars and sanctions and war. Couple of millions of Middle Eastern, brown-skinned Middle Easterns could die, and then you can still have some, you know, brown-skinned Middle Easterns in the system being, you know, left alone and not demonized. Of course it is. It's naive to think, because the little guys in the system they have been taught that people of that part of the world are all demons. That's why we should go and conquer them to bring them democracy. And, you know, once you demonize a certain region of the world, once you demonize other races, a few of those individuals, those races that are in your system, they're going to be, you know, treated like shit, and they're not going to stick around. So I kind of doubt that you can have anything but pink skin stay for long in the military, in the whole system, in foreign, in the whole system. Anything but pink skin will eventually, you know, it decides to leave, because they feel unwelcome, they feel marginalized, because, you know, their whole race has been demonized. I mean, here's the solution. The day Uncle Sam's manager, I love Uncle Sam, but so what I talk about is, you know, managers of Uncle Sam, because I love Uncle Sam himself. But the day managers of Uncle Sam decides to, you know, not to form alliances based on race, so in other words, the day Uncle Sam's decide to treat other countries fair, in a fair manner, not based on their race, what I'm trying to say is basically look at the Middle East. Iran is the dominant power in the Middle East, has been for hundreds of thousands of years, because it's a very, specific location in the Middle East that needed order for a long time. And the people, the shitheads living over there, feel independent, want to be independent. They feel, they earn the right to be independent. Well, the moment Uncle Sam's managers feel that, we should, set aside race and form an alliance with these cocksuckers. Bring them into the fold. Form an alliance. Yes, they're brown skin, but, they mind their own business. The moment the pink skin Europeans and North Americans feel that they're okay forming an alliance with the Iranians, or form an alliance with the black South Africans. They're black. Yes, they're black. But we still form an alliance with them. And they have the right to have nuclear technology. The moment the pinkskins decide that they can allow the Egyptians to have a real democracy and form a real alliance with them, allow them to have nuclear technology, that's the moment the West, the pinkskins, decide that the Chinese, yes, they have the right to, act as a big brother in that area, because they have been the dominant power in that areas in East Asia for hundreds of thousands of years. So they have the right to be the dominant power, to act as the bigger brother over there in that area. And why not form an alliance with China? The moment the pinkskins decide that, yes, we like to form an alliance with China, that's the moment that you can say that, yes, the system is not racist. We have an alliance with South Africa, we have an alliance with Iran, we have an alliance with China, we have an alliance with everybody. We are not planning on conquering anybody. We are not planning on, taking our religions to them because our religion is the best, and we are not planning on, taking our form of government to them, conquer them to take our form of government to them because our form of government is the best. The moment that happens, that these alliances, international alliances, are not race-based, the moment that happens, I would say is the moment that you don't have to worry about any domestic disturbances based on race. Any domestic and is the moment that that esteemed general in charge of the Marines doesn't have to actually worry about having more of other races in the Marine. Other races will be in the Marines without actually having to try to recruit them. Because, the black guy comes in and says, hey, we are allies with South Africa, we're allies with Libya, we're allies with Egypt, we're allies with everybody. We have no problem with anybody. And the system doesn't, the grand system is not race-based, is trying to work with everybody, all the races. So within the system, all the races feel welcomed. And those pawns in the system, those average Joes, when they see that the grand system is not racist, they will not be racist. But this will not happen until, I give you an example. Russia was at its weakest point in 1990s with that Boris Yeltsin and whatever the fuck his name was. It was a weak, like, it was broken up, weak. All, the pinkskins have to do and say, okay, here, old Russia and old Russian, old Russian, broken up Russian, new independent Russian pieces and all of them, you can all come under one roof. We all accept you as allies. And we all share technologies and we all share markets and we all do all of that. That didn't happen. It didn't happen. China is right now demonized. Why? Why? Because they want to be independent? Because they want to have a say? Because, they feel they have the right to, be involved in the security of shipping routes in South China Sea. The fucking sea is named after them. So, I mean, the grand scheme is very racist, is race-based. Pinkskins in one camp fighting, trying to conquer other lands which belongs to other races. It happened in North America, South America, and all the redskins got wiped out. It happened in Australia, and all the blackskins of Australia got wiped out. It was happening in South Africa, stopped. It's happening in West Asia with Israel right now. All Europeans of certain religions have moved to West Asia in Israel and trying to push the brownskins out. Folks, this has been the case with the pinkskins for centuries now. The grand system is racist, is very racist. And when the grand system, the grand scale that is race-based, if you correct that and try to be friends with all nations, of all people, of all races, then the average Joe in your streets will also see that and will be less racist. And you won't have any you will have less domestic issues regarding race. Fix the grand scheme of things, fix the grand scale, the little people will fall in place.